One of those big fans, of course, is one of Business Catalyst's partners, Pretty, and earlier this week we went out to talk to them about Business Catalyst.
I'm here in the offices of Pretty North Sydney with Director Brett Stockley. Brett, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about Pretty and how it started.
Sure. I'm a systems engineer by trade. I worked with a marketing background and on web servers in a marketing environment, and I went out on my own and started a web business, and we grew from a sole trader. We now have 8 staff and an office in Sydney, and we specialise in Business Catalyst websites, digital strategy, social media, direct marketing. Yeah.
And I believe things are going well. You've just opened in New York.
That's right. 6 months ago we opened an office in New York. It makes us the only multinational Business Catalyst partner that exists. It gives us round-the-clock support to our customers, so it gives us a bit of a competitive advantage.
So you mentioned Business Catalyst twice there. How did you find out about Business Catalyst in the beginning? What attracted you to Business Catalyst?
We date back a long time. We're actually known, and it's been thrown around, that we're the longest standing Business Catalyst partner that exists in the world. I grew up in the same area as one of the founders of Business Catalyst. I heard about them through a design school in Sydney called Billy Blue. We were referred to Business Catalyst and picked it up, did a site on the platform, and we've never looked back.
So how do you go about working with Business Catalyst? What's the design process to start with? Before we talk about Business Catalyst,
Sure.
What's important to you? Is it the user experience, or is it the look and feel of a website? What's the Pretty ethos? It's
both of those things. I guess some time ago I took a step back and I looked at what people in the industry were doing, and some companies were focusing on social media, and some were building websites, and some were search engines. So we tried to take components of all of those core areas and bring them together, which is similar to what Business Catalyst do, is taking all of the digital marketing fundamentals and put it all in one system. So yeah, we strongly believe in several foundations, which is to get the user experience right, engage the user, really think about the content and how a user reads the content. If it's an e-commerce site, like, do we want the customer visiting the website shop from the moment they land on the site, or is the shop secondary to the business, or only a component of the business, so you would click on shop and move through to the shopping cart? So really putting a lot of thought and effort and background and research into the client and what they do and what they need before we just start blasting a website out. I think that's the key.
So that's an interesting point. Talk us through that process from client brief through to initial concepts, but also then I understand that's quite a deep integration with Business Catalyst and quite a lot of services at the back end. You mentioned e-commerce and so on. Talk us through that process from brief to deployment.
Sure. I guess initially it's important to note that when a brief comes in, sometimes it's not literal, sometimes we stray from the brief and it's in the best interest of the customer. Usually that works out for us, occasionally it doesn't. But it's to take the brief, understand it, quote it, get through the red tape, then we submit a comprehensive questionnaire as to understand the client and what they're expecting and what they want from the website and where they want to track, and looking ahead, not just at the now, but looking 5 years ahead and trying to engineer a solution to get the customer there. So they might approach us with a strategy to deploy e-commerce for an Australian company or a US company, and we might set up a strategy to be global, but not for phase 1, for phase 2. So it's to understand the brief, do the background, understand the target market, understand the client and how they're different from their competitors, because ultimately all we're trying to do is everything that their competitor is doing, but doing just a little bit more and just a little bit better.
So that's really interesting. So tell us about your use of Business Catalyst as a platform. Obviously there's quite sophisticated sites that you're developing, and as well as, I imagine, simpler briefs. Do you find Business Catalyst allows you that flexibility of those different types of deployments?
We do everything from startup companies right through to multinational companies. We've built intranets on Business Catalyst, very complex membership sites with reoccurring billing, fully automating the process, and events and e-commerce and postcode search, web apps, all sorts of websites in Business Catalyst. Most of the time Business Catalyst is a really good fit. In the last 3 months I noticed Adobe have been working on the email marketing component of the platform. I just find it absolutely amazing what they've done in such a short time span. Traditionally you would create an email campaign and you'd blast it to an email list, which you'd manually create both of them. In the last 3 months they've built some functionality that allows you to do several things. So someone makes a shop purchase, they automatically go into an email list. We can create an email campaign and insert a Business Catalyst module tag that automatically pulls products on the fly from the website. So no longer do you have to manually create the email campaign. We can send it to a list, and the list is generated through a Business Catalyst report. So no longer do you have to create the list. It's the email campaign sent on a report that runs dynamically as you send the blast. We can send to that list with filters. So we can filter and say, send to all females that made a purchase in the shop in the last 12 months. Effectively what Business Catalyst have done is created a really flexible and powerful system, which is the trending of direct marketing, sending content specific data to a particular target market. No, like the days of blanket blasting emails that are generic to everyone in your list are kind of declining. Now the real power is about sending specific content.
That sounds like an extremely powerful solution you can offer to your customers. Is there any customer in particular you can talk us through some of the solutions that you've provided for them?
Sure. In email marketing, we've been working with Anytime Fitness. They're Australia's largest gym. They're a worldwide gym. They approached Pretty after they'd seen an email blast that we'd done for Aussie Home Loans. And we now run their national email marketing strategy. So monthly they'll supply us with content. We'll design up an email marketing template, newsletter, and we'll send it out to their customer database through Business Catalyst. So they're getting remarkable results.
So Pretty then becomes more than simply a website designer. It sounds like you've become a business partner with your clients and your customers.
Definitely. Client relationships is paramount to what we do. I think if you stick a bunch of people in an office together and for 40 hours a week you look at websites and you look at small components of a website and how you can get a slight edge over a customer's competitor, then you build up a team that's very focused on digital strategy. And if it was me and I had a business from startup to enterprise, that's what I'd be looking for, is a partner that's not just flipping websites and turning clients, is someone that can really focus on the relationship and the digital strategy side of building a site.
Brett, that's very inspirational, and it's great to be here with you today at Pretty and to see what you've managed to do with your company, Business Catalyst as well. I thank you very much for your time, and good luck with both here in Sydney and your ventures in New York.
Sure, thank you. Thanks for having me.